Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan. It's the Bears and the Lions on Thanksgiving. And welcome into another NFL broadcast here at Jammin' Sports. Week 12, our Thanksgiving Day game between the Bears and the Lions. A big showdown in the NFC Central. The Bears tied for first with Tampa Bay at 7-4, and the Lions one game back at 6-5. Chicago will kick off. Detroit will get it first. Wetzel will kick. We're underway from Detroit. Fielded by Fletcher at the goal line over the 10, 15, 20. And Trey Fletcher brings it out to the 27-yard line. The second-year receiver out of Texas State. Starting quarterback for Detroit, Taylor Lane Dickerson, the rookie out of Wake Forest. Just underway. Detroit will have it at their own 27-yard line. A chance now for the Lions to move into a tie for first place in the NFC Central if they were to win today, and if Tampa Bay were to lose to the Jets later this week. If that were to happen, all three teams would be 7-5 with 4 games to go. Dickerson under center, hands off to Freeman around the outside, and Charles Freeman makes his way out to the 31-yard line. A gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Here's the Lions offense up front. Perry, Dixon, Gordon, Morrison, Reed. And then it's Farr, Brown, Freeman, Adams, and Tomlin. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Lions at their own 31-yard line. Our Week 12 Thanksgiving Day game on 2nd and 6. Dickerson in the shotgun. Hands off to Freeman. And Freeman, no gain. That'll bring up 3rd and 6. Here's the Chicago defense. They play a 3-4. Miles, Wacher, and Gallows up front. Linebackers, Stewart, Elliott, Littleton, and Walters. And the secondary, Burns, Harrelson, Fensick, and Walters. It'll bring up 3rd and 6. Lions trying to avoid going 3 and out on the opening drive. Dickerson in the shotgun. 4 receivers set wide. Fakes the handoff. Throws downfield. Caught by Farr down the sideline. Mike Farr all the way down to the 37 of Chicago. A 37-yard gain on the play by Mike Farr, the 12th-year receiver out of Georgia Tech, in a Lions first down. On the tackle, number 26, Andres Walters, the 3rd-year defensive back out of Maryland. But Detroit now in Chicago territory here on the opening drive of the game. First and 10 from the Bears, 37. Dickerson in the shotgun. Dickerson to Freeman, and Freeman makes his way down to the 32-yard line. A gain of 5 to bring up 2nd and 5. Gary Fensick on the tackle in his 8th year out of California, the safety. It'll bring up 2nd and 5 for Detroit. .6:10 and counting here in the first quarter. Opening drive of the ball game. Lions on a nice drive so far. From the shotgun on 2nd and 5, Dickerson to Freeman up the middle. And Freeman gets a yard to the 31. It'll bring up 3rd and 4. Henry Wacher on the tackle in his 2nd or 7th year out of Ole Miss. So a big 3rd down coming up for Detroit. 3rd and 4 from the Chicago 31-yard line. Detroit comes out in the offset eye. Nope, now they shift. 4 receivers wide. Dickerson looking. Good protection. Needs to get rid of it. Throws outside to Adams. And Adams down to the 25-yard line. And that'll be enough for the first down. Kyle Adams. 6 yards on the play. First down, Detroit. Andres Walters on the tackle in his 3rd year out of Maryland for Chicago. 5-10 and counting. 1st and 10 from the 25. On first down, Dickerson hands off to Brown this time. Nathan Brown, the rookie out of Cornell. He's going to lose a couple of yards. A yard loss will be 2nd and 11. Making the tackle, Corey Walters, the linebacker, in his 7th year out of Tulsa. It'll be 2nd and 11 for Detroit. 4:45 and counting. Still on the opening drive of the first quarter. It'll be 2nd and 11. Dickerson in the shotgun. Dickerson looking. Throws to the near side to Fletcher down to the 15-yard line. A gain of 12. It'll be a Detroit first down. That'll move the chains. Trey Fletcher, the 2nd-year receiver out of Texas State. 12 yards and a Lions first down. On the tackle, number 20, Douglas Burns in his 2nd year out of Virginia Tech. First down, Detroit at the Chicago 15. 4 receivers set wide. Dickerson in the shotgun. Dickerson hands off to Freeman. And Freeman 3 yards down to the 12. It'll bring up 2nd and 7. On the tackle, number 59, Ken Elliott, the rookie linebacker out of Colorado, their first-round draft pick. It'll be 2nd and 7 for Detroit. This opening drive eating up a lot of time for the Lions. 3:40 and counting in the first quarter. On 2nd and 7. Dickerson high snap. Hands off to Freeman up the middle. Freeman makes his way down to the 4-yard line. A gain of 8. It'll be 1st and goal Detroit. Linebacker Ken Elliott on the tackle once again. But it'll be a Lions first down. It'll be 1st and goal at the 4. We're scoreless here in the first quarter. It'll be 1st and goal Detroit at the Chicago 4-yard line. Our Week 12 Thanksgiving game to kick off Week 12. In the I formation. Branch in motion. Dickerson to Brown. And Nathan Brown, he gets hemmed in. No gain. Parker Littleton on the tackle, number 54. And Gary Fensick for Chicago. 2nd and goal for Detroit. They'll have it at the Chicago 4-yard line. Our Thanksgiving doubleheader will have Indianapolis at Dallas after this. On 2nd and goal from the 4. Dickerson to Brown. And Nathan Brown, he's going to lose a yard. Back to the 5-yard line. Coming up to make the tackle, Preston Rucker, the 2nd-year safety out of Yale. It'll be 3rd and goal, back at the 4-yard line. .220 and counting. A long opening drive by Detroit, eating up about 3/4 of the quarter. Dickerson in the shotgun on 3rd and goal. Back to throw, looks to the end zone underneath. Tomlin, touchdown, Detroit. David Tomlin, a 5-yard touchdown catch. The 4th year, make that the 6th year receiver out of Army. And Detroit takes the opening kickoff, a long, methodical drive that ends with a touchdown. The Lions take a 6-0 lead. And now John Decker for the extra point. Kick is up, and it's good. Lions lead at 7-0, 2:07 left here in the first quarter. We're live from Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan, Week 12, our Thanksgiving game here at Jammin' Sports. Week 12, that puts us in the final weekend of November, Thanksgiving week. These two teams played earlier in the season. I'm looking for that game right now. It was back in Week 3. The Bears won that game 28-24 in Chicago. The rematch here today. Dylan Hardiman will kick off for Detroit. Actually, John Decker kicks off. Fielded by Washington at the 3-yard line over the 20-25. And he gets outside, out to the 30-yard line. On the return, number 81, Kerry Washington, the rookie out of Colorado. Starting quarterback for the Bears, Jason Plunkett, in his 7th year out of USC. He spent 6 years with the Chiefs. The Chiefs let him go. The Bears picked him up. Now in his first season with the Bears. Chicago and Tampa Bay tied at 7-4. Detroit 1 game back at 6-5. The NFC Central is tight. 2:02 left to play here in the first quarter. The Lions' opening drive took up 75% of the quarter. 4 receivers set wide. Plunkett in the gun. Plunkett back. Throws outside. Picked off by Benny Blades. And they're not going to catch him. Touchdown, Detroit. A 30-yard pick six by Benny Blades. The 10th year free safety out of Florida. A 30-yard interception return for touchdown. And Chicago's opening drive ends in disaster as Blades gets the pick six. 30 yards. And the Lions lead at 13-0. Wow. Lions out to a quick lead. And now John Decker will come on for the extra point. Kick is up, and it's good. Lions lead at 14-0. A minute 55 left to play here in the first quarter. Live from Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan, Week 12. Our Thanksgiving Day game here at Jammin' Sports. Lions with a 2-possession lead already. Of course, Detroit and Dallas always play on Thanksgiving. Bears, Lions now. We've got the Colts and Cowboys up next. Decker will kick off. Fielded by Washington at the 3-yard line over the 20-25. And Kerry Washington out to the 28-yard line. So now the Bears will have it for the second time. Down 14-0. As Jason Plunkett, there's his stats. He's thrown 1 pass. It's gone for a touchdown, but to the other team. First and 10, Chicago. They'll have it at their own 28-yard line. A minute 52 left to play here in the first quarter. Bears come out. Plunkett in the shotgun. Plunkett hands off to McNeil up the middle, and Leon McNeil gets 5 yards. Be 2nd and 5. Let's look at the Bears offense. Up front, Karimi, Scott, Brown, Sherman, and Kaiser. And then it's Seacrest, Kirkwood, McNeil, Walstra, and Dominique. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Bears from their own 33-yard line, a minute 35 and counting here in the first quarter. Four receivers wide. Plunkett in the shotgun. Plunkett back, steps up. Plunkett in trouble. He's going to take off, and he's going to take off downfield. He's got the first down all the way out to the 50-yard line. A 17-yard run by Jason Plunkett for a Chicago first down. We're coming up on a minute left here in the first quarter. Lions up 14-0. First and 10 from midfield, less than a minute now to play. In the quarter, in the I formation. Plunkett to McNeil up the middle, and Leon McNeil down to the 45-yard line. Let's take a look at the Detroit defense. The Lions play a 3-4. Russell Ball and Pulaski up front. The linebackers, Stewart, Neal, Saunders, and Stanley. And the secondary for Detroit, Reese, Starnes, Blades, and Chambers. 40 seconds and counting here in the first quarter. 2nd and 5 for the Bears at the Lions' 45-yard line. Chicago trying to get back in the game. Four receivers set wide. Plunkett in the gun. Plunkett draws back. Throws downfield. It's intercepted. No, yes it is. The Lions pick it off again. Don Reese at the 15-yard line. The 6th-year defensive back out of Indiana. So the Bears have thrown 2 picks here in the first quarter. Don Reese picks that one off, and he kept both feet in. Nice catch by Reese. The ball was a bit overthrown, allowing Reese to come down with it. And Detroit will take over at their own 15-yard line, already up 14-0. "20 seconds left here in the first quarter. Lions up 14-0. Indianapolis and Dallas up next. We'll be down in Dallas for that one. On 1st and 10 for the 15. 5 receivers set wide. Dickerson in the shotgun. Dickerson back. Looks downfield. Throws underneath to Adams. And Kyle Adams out to the 23. A gain of 7 will be 2nd and 3. And that should do it for the first quarter. They won't get another playoff. At the end of one, the Lions lead at 14-0 here at Jammin' Sports. And welcome back to Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan. Week 12, our Thanksgiving Day game. Week 12 is Thanksgiving week. Our Thanksgiving doubleheader. Chicago and Detroit. We got Indianapolis and Dallas up next. We start the second quarter. The Lions lead at 14-0 in a key game here in the NFC Central. The Bears are currently tied with Tampa Bay for first at 7-4. The Lions are one game back at 6-5. On 2nd and 3, Dickerson throws incomplete. The Lions scored on their opening drive, a 5-yard touchdown pass to David Tomlin. And then on the Bears' first possession, they threw an interception that was returned for a touchdown by Benny Blades, a 30-yard pick six. And that's where we are, Detroit up 14-0. And Detroit just intercepted it a moment ago again. Now they have it 3rd and 3 at their own 23-yard line. Dickerson back, throws to the near side, incomplete. Lions will have to punt. It'll be 4th and 3. Colts and Cowboys up next, the other Thanksgiving game. Dylan Hardiman back to punt for the Lions. Hardiman gets the punt away. Fielded by McNeil, and it brings it back to the 34-yard line. Dylan McNeil, or Leon McNeil, I'm sorry, in his second year out of Missouri. So Jason Plunkett comes back out to lead the Chicago offense. He's already thrown 2 picks. But the Bears have plenty of time to get back in the game. 7:47 left here in the first half. Lions up 14-0. 3 receivers to the far side for Chicago. Plunkett on 1st and 10. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks downfield, throws deep. Down the sideline, he's got a man incomplete. He was looking for Robert Seacrest. He overthrew him. Incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Robert Seacrest, the 5th-year receiver out of Memphis. 2nd and 10 for the Bears at their own 34-yard line. Snowman in the house. Good to see you, Snowman. Welcome on in. Plunkett in the gun. Plunkett back. Throws underneath the Wallstra. And Troy Wallstra out to the 47. A gain of 13 yards in a Bears first down. The first of our 2 Thanksgiving games today. We're in week 12. That puts us in Thanksgiving. Bears, Detroit, and then we have Indianapolis and Dallas after this. Snowman's in the house. Good to have him here. Snowman from Connecticut, if I remember right. 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. Plunkett hands off to McNeil. And Leon McNeil out to the 47. A gain of 6. Make it a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. On the tackle, number 96 for Detroit. I'm looking for 96. Dan Stewart, there he is. In his 5th year out of Virginia Tech. Detroit is out to a quick 14-0 lead. The Bears and Tampa Bay are both 7-4. They're in first place. In the NFC Central, Detroit 1 game back at 6-5. So it's a very meaningful Thanksgiving game. On 2nd and 5, Plunkett in the gun. Plunkett hands off to McNeil up the middle, and McNeil's got the first down out to the 39-yard line. A gain of 8. First down, Chicago. The 2nd year back out of Missouri, Leon McNeil. Jimmy Jam with Going Snowman in the house. You never know what kind of a crowd you're going to get on a Thursday night. Or on a Wednesday night, I should say. Today's Wednesday. 1st and 10 from the 39. Plunkett drops back. Plunkett rolls out, rolling around, scrambling about, throws to Wallstra all the way down to the 22-yard line. A 17-yard gain to Troy Wallstra, the 12th year tight end out of Army. First down Detroit, or first down Chicago, in Detroit territory. Five minutes, 50 seconds left in the first half. Lions up 14-0. The Bears trying to get back in it. 1st and 10 from the Detroit 22. In the offset eye, Plunkett hands off to Kirkwood this time. And Kirkwood makes his way down to the 17-yard line. Gary Kirkwood, the 3rd year back out of Pittsburgh. A gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. On the tackle, number 75, John Parson, in his 8th year out of Auburn. 2nd down, 4 yards to go from the Detroit 17. Plunkett in the gun. Plunkett looking, throws down the middle to Palmer, inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Tyler Palmer, the 3rd year tight end out of Purdue. First down Bears, under 5 minutes left in the half. There's actually, hey Davis, Davis in the house.
Hi.
Misty says hi, Davis. There's actually a third Thanksgiving game. It's the Giants and the Saints. Depending on how quickly I get through the first two games, I may do that one also. First and goal from the 8-yard line. Weaver's in motion. Plunkett looking, throws underneath, incomplete. It'll be second and goal. That'll stop the clock with 4:37 left to play here in the first half. Our Week 12 Thanksgiving Day game. It's our Turkey Day doubleheader, possibly triple hitter. 5 receivers set wide, Plunkett in the gun on second and goal. Plunkett back, steps up, gets sacked, back at the 17-yard line. A loss of 9 yards on the play. Gary Pulaski, the 5th-year defensive end out of Army. Who's in the room? Well, me, you, and Snowman, and Misty's here. It'll bring up third and goal for the Bears at the 17-yard line. I think Evil Dead is indisposed this evening. On third and goal from the 17-yard line. 4 receivers set wide. Plunkett drops back, throws outside to Palmer, and Palmer down to the 12-yard line, a gain of 5. He's going to be well shy of the first down. It'll be fourth and goal from the 12-yard line, and Chicago is going to have to kick a field goal. This will be a 29-yard attempt by Zach Jones to get the Bears on the board. Snap, kick is up. It's good. Bears are on the board. Lions lead at 14-3. 3:38 left to play here in the first half. We're live from Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan. Week 12, our Thanksgiving game here at Jammin' Sports. Colts and Cowboys, another Thanksgiving game up next. We've made it to Turkey Day in the schedule. Zach Wetzel will kick off for Chicago. Last season, I actually did my Thanksgiving games the day after Thanksgiving on the calendar, back in November. Nixon, a yard deep over the 15-20, and Nixon brings it out to the 24-yard line. Devin Nixon, the 4th-year safety out of Maryland. First down, Detroit, up 14-3. Taylor Lane Dickerson comes out, the rookie quarterback out of Wake Forest. The Bears are coming off that big win against the Patriots last week. They hung on to win that game, 17-14. And Detroit, they lost to the Redskins last week, 17-14. First and 10 from the 24. Dickerson to Freeman up the middle. And Freeman to the 27-yard line, a gain of 3. It'll be second and 7. On the tackle, number 55, Taylor Stewart, the rookie linebacker out of UNLV. Second down for Detroit, 3:15 and counting here in the first half. A rapidly moving first half. Dickerson in the shotgun. Dickerson hands off to Freeman, and Freeman makes his way down to the 30-yard line. A gain of 2 yards will bring up third and 5. David Harrelson on the tackle, number 28 for Chicago. The 6th-year safety out of Oregon State. It'll bring up third down for Detroit, third and 5. 2-minute warning coming up soon here in the first half. On third and 5, 3 receivers to the near side. Dickerson in the shotgun. Dickerson looking. Throws downfield. Caught by Adams. No, incomplete. Broken up by Douglas Burns, the second-year defensive back out of Virginia Tech. A nice defensive play by Burns. Going to bring up 4th and 5, and the Lions are going to have to punt. Who's in the chat? You, me, Snowman, and Misty, I think. And somebody just joined, but I don't know who it is. Hardiman back to punt on 4th and 5. Fielded by McNeil at the 21-yard line over the 30. And McNeil, nice return out to the 44-yard line. So with 2:23 left in the first half, Detroit's up 14-3, but the Bears have it 1st and 10 from their own 44. A chance for Chicago to get another score before halftime. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. That's where we are. That's where we are in the schedule. It's week 12. Our Thanksgiving games. Indianapolis and Dallas up next. The other Thanksgiving game. 4 receivers set wide. Plunkett in the shotgun. Plunkett back. Looks downfield. Throws deep. And it's incomplete. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. Yep, happy Thanksgiving to you, Snowman. That'll stop the clock with 2:18 left to play here in the first half. Thanksgiving in May. In the offset eye on 2nd and 10. Plunkett hands off to McNeil around the outside. Leon McNeil across the 50. And McNeil down to the 46-yard line. A gain of 9. Going to bring up 13 inches. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning as we watch the replay. Lions up 14-3 here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan. Week 12 here at Jammin' Sports. The early Thanksgiving Day game. We've got the late game up next. It'll be the Colts and the Cowboys. It'll be 13 inches for the Bears. They'll have it at the Detroit 46-yard line. The Bears currently tied for first, with the Lions 1 game back in the NFC Central. Plunkett to McNeil, and McNeil gets nailed for a loss of a yard. Coming in to make the tackle, number 53, Henry Stanley, in his 7th year out of Michigan State. It'll bring up 4th down. It'll be 4th and 1. Jimmy Jam with Sports Davis and Going Snowman in the house. Misty's here as well.
Hello.
It'll be 4th and 1. And the Bears are going to have to punt. Zach Wetzel gets the punt away barely. And that's out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Not a good punt. That's a 28-yard punt. And now Detroit will take over at their own 19 with 1:20 and 3 timeouts left here in the first half. They have a chance to score again before halftime. Great to have you along here at Jammin' Sports today. Our Turkey Day doubleheader. We meant to do these games last night, but I was a bit under the weather. I'm good now. 1st and 10 from the 19. Dickerson back, throws underneath, incomplete. Broken up by David Harrelson, number 28. The intended receiver was Dylan Neal, number 82. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Detroit. 1:18 left to play here in the first half. Lions come out. Dickerson in the shotgun. Dickerson back, throws underneath to Freeman. And Freeman down to the 24-yard line. A gain of 4 yards for Charles Freeman, the 9th year back out of California. And that will bring up 3rd and 6. And the clock is running. Detroit might take a timeout here. And they do, with 1:01 remaining. Big 3rd down coming up, 3rd and 6. I had to push the schedule back a day. I was just really out of it last night. I didn't have the energy. I just needed some rest. I'm good today. Third and 6 from the 24-yard line. As we're headed into halftime. Lines up 14-3. Dickerson under center on 3rd down. Dickerson, 3-step drop, throws inside to Neal. And Dylan Neal down to the 36-yard line. A gain of 12 yards and a Lions first down. They take a timeout with 56 seconds left. Dylan Neal, the 2nd-year receiver out of VMI. 1st and 10, Detroit. On 1st and 10, it's a long timeout. Lions come out on 1st and 10. 3 receivers to the near side. Dickerson in the shotgun. Dickerson back. Looking, steps up, throws, dumps it off to Freeman. And Freeman's got the first down, gets across midfield, and makes his way to the 45-yard line. A gain of 19 yards and a first down for Detroit. The clock is running, though, 36 seconds left and counting. Detroit has 1 timeout left. Gary Fensick made the tackle for Chicago. Fensick, the 8th-year free safety out of California. Clock is running, 30 seconds. Detroit has 1 timeout. 4 receivers set wide. Dickerson in the shotgun. Dickerson drops back. He's got good protection. Steps up. Throws deep. Caught by Farr. He came back for it. All the way down to the 16-yard line. A 29-yard gain to Mike Farr as a timeout has been taken by Detroit with 13 seconds left. And Mike Farr makes the catch. The 12th-year receiver out of Georgia Tech. All the way down to the Chicago 16-yard line. Detroit has time to take a shot at the end zone, but it has to be to the end zone because they're out of timeouts. You can't throw underneath. They're going to kick the field goal now. They're not wasting any time. This will be a 33-yard field goal attempt by John Decker. The kick is up, and it's good. Lions lead it by 2 touchdowns. A 14-point lead, 17-3, with 9 seconds left to play here in the first half. We're at Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan, Week 12, Thanksgiving Day, here at Jammin' Sports. And now Decker will kick off. Almost at halftime. Lions up by 2 touchdowns. There's the kick. Fielded by Washington at the 2-yard line over the 20-25. And Kerry Washington brings it back to the 26. 5 seconds left until halftime. Chicago has time for 1 play. Lions up 17-3. Chicago will get the ball first to start the second half. which is a good thing for them. They're down by 2 touchdowns. And it looks like the Bears are just going to take a knee and go to halftime. Plunkett takes knee. We go to halftime. Our halftime score, Detroit 17, Chicago 3 here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan. Our Week 12 Thanksgiving Day game here at Jammin' Sports. Lions lead it 17-3 over the Bears. Sports Davis in the house saying the Pats Super Bowl. Well, the Pats are going to need a miracle. They're 5-6 at the moment. There's the kick. Fielded by McNeil at the 4-yard line over the 20, 25. And McNeil out to the 30-yard line. First down, Bears. Well, New England, they can still run the table and finish 10-6. You never know. Anything can happen. They slid in as a wild card last season in Week 16 with a 9-7 record. You never know. So the Bears down by 2 touchdowns. We'll have it first here in the second half, starting from their own 30-yard line. Plunkett under center on 1st and 10. Hands off to McNeil. And Leon McNeil out to the 37-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 3. Who's got the tiebreaker? New England's currently in 3rd place. The Jets and Miami are both 8-3. And New England is 5-6, 3 games back. Miami has the tiebreaker at the moment. They won the earlier game against the Jets, but they play again in a couple of weeks. Plunkett in the shotgun. Plunkett to McNeil. And McNeil gets back to the line of scrimmage, no gain. It'll be 3rd and 3. On the tackle, number 79, Kevin Saunders, in his 3rd year out of Columbia. It'll be 3rd and 3. In the AFC, there's 4 teams 8-3. Miami, the Jets, Pittsburgh, and the Chargers. Plunkett, incomplete. Not Pittsburgh, I'm sorry. It's Miami, the Jets, Cincinnati, and the Chargers, all 8-3. There's a big logjam in the AFC right now. On 4th and 3, Zach Wetzel in the punt for Chicago. Bobbles it, gets it away. Fair caught at the 12-yard line by Trey Fletcher. And that's where Detroit will have it, 1st and 10, up 17-3. As Taylor Lane Dickerson comes out. See if I can't find my standings here. Very interesting stuff going on. Got him right here. We'll go over the playoff picture at the moment, right after this play. On 1st and 10, 3 receivers to the far side for Detroit. Dickerson back, throws downfield, incomplete. In the AFC right now, if the playoffs were to start right now, in the AFC, the Chargers are the 1 seed. Miami is the 2 seed. They're both 8-3. Cincinnati would win the Central, and they'd be the 3 seed with tiebreakers. The Jets would be the 4 seed. All 4 of those teams are 8-3. On 2nd and 10 from the 12, Dickerson back. Dickerson in trouble, gets sacked back at the 6-yard line. A loss of 6 yards on the play. On the tackle, number 95, that's Larry Miles in his 5th year out of Texas Christian. The 2 wild cards, or actually the Jets would be 1 wild card. Pittsburgh would be the 5 seed at 7-4. And now get this. There are 6 teams at 5 and 6, all vying for that last spot. New England, Indianapolis, Cleveland, Kansas City, Oakland, and Seattle. Of those 6 teams, New England has the tiebreaker, and they would get in if the playoffs started right now. But a lot can happen. We'll go over the NFC here in a second. 3rd and 16. Dickerson back. Throws downfield, caught by Neal. And Dylan Neal out to the 27-yard line. A 21-yard gain. A Lions first down. In the NFC, if the playoffs started right now, New Orleans at 9-2 would be the 1 seed. Winners of the NFC West. Tampa Bay would be the 2 seed at 7-4. Dallas would win the East. They'd be the 3 seed, 7-4. The Giants would be the 4 seed. San Francisco would be the 5 seed. They're both 6-5. And Detroit and the Rams are both tied for that last seed at 6-5, with Detroit with a tiebreaker. Freeman gets a yard to the 28-yard line. So both conferences, when you look at the playoff picture, it's very, very tight. Especially the AFC. 4 teams had 8-3 in the AFC. That's amazing. And the Chargers, with all the tiebreakers, would be the 1 seed. Dickerson to Freeman. He gets hit in the backfield. A loss of 3 yards. Parker Littleton on the tackle, number 54. The linebacker in his 3rd year out of Indiana. A loss of 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and 12 for Detroit. So the Bears defense is playing tough. Detroit has not scored since the first quarter, except for the field goal right before halftime. But the Bears' offense hasn't done anything, really, except for that 1 field goal. On 3rd and 12, Dickerson back. Looking downfield, throws, and it's incomplete. Broken up by Douglas Burns. Nice defensive play by Burns. Intended for Dylan Neal. It'll be 4th and 12. So once again, Detroit has to punt. Detroit letting Chicago hang around. And usually that bites you in the butt later on when you do that. Dylan Hardiman back to punt. Gets the punt away. Fielded by McNeil at the 26. Breaks a tackle. Gets out over the 40. Breaks a tackle. Neal across midfield to the 47-yard line. A nice return by Dylan Neal. He nearly broke it. It went for a touchdown. The 2nd year back out of Missouri, Leon McNeil. So the Bears will have it 1st and 10 in Detroit territory. As we watch the replay here, he very nearly broke it. We're live from Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan. Week 12, our Thanksgiving Day game here at Jammin' Sports. The early Thanksgiving game. The late afternoon game, Indianapolis and Dallas up next. Lions up 17-3 with 4:32 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Chicago will take over at the Detroit 47-yard line. 4 receivers set wide. Plunkett hands off to McNeil. And McNeil gets 3 yards down to the 44-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 7. Clock continues to move. 4:15 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. A lot of people watching, nobody chatting, but that's okay. Plunkett in the gun on 2nd and 7. Plunkett throws, and it's tipped. It was tipped. Getting his hands on it, number 36, Benny Blades. Intended for Troy Wallstra, incomplete. Blades got a hand on it. Knocked the pass down. It'll bring up 3rd and 7. Bears at the line, 44-yard line, down by 2 touchdowns. Plunkett on 3rd down, hands off to McNeil, and Leon McNeil gets 2 yards down to the 42-yard line. Detroit's right there. It'll be 4th down. The linebacker, Saunders, Kevin Saunders, makes the play. It'll bring up 4th and 5. And the Bears are going to have to punt again. Zach Wetzel, the 4th-year punter out of Arkansas, back to punt. Wetzel gets the punt away. Aiming for the sideline, out of bounds at the 6. Nice punt by Wetzel. Detroit will have it 1st and 10 from their own 6-yard line. Lions up 17-3. So Taylor Lane Dickerson, the quarterback, the rookie out of Wake Forest, will come out to lead the offense once again. 3:33 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Detroit starting deep in their own end. A chance for the Bears to get good field position. They really need a turnover at about this point. 1st and 10, Dickerson to Freeman. And Freeman gets a yard out to the 7-yard line. If that much, it'll be 2nd and 10. Ken Elliott, the rookie out of Colorado, on the tackle. 2nd and 10 for Detroit. They got about a half yard on that play. Detroit comes out in the offset I. Dickerson throws, gets it out to Tomlin, across the 20 out to the 23-yard line. A 16-yard gain to David Tomlin. 1st down Detroit. Little breathing room for the Lions now. If Detroit wins and the Jets beat Tampa Bay later this week, then Tampa Bay, Chicago, and Detroit would all be 7 and 5. There would be a 3-way tie for 1st in the NFC Central. If the Lions lose and the Bucks, or if the Lions win and the Bucks lose. On 1st and 10, Dickerson back, throws downfield, caught by Farr, out to the 36-yard line. A gain of 13 yards to Mike Farr. Another Detroit 1st down. David Harrelson on the tackle. That'll move the chains. Detroit on the move. They're up by 2 possessions. They can make it a 3-possession game with a field goal. 2:10 and counting here in the 3rd. 5 receivers wide. Empty backfield for Dickerson. Dickerson back, throws, gets it out to Adams, the tight end. Kyle Adams out to the 45-yard line. The 3rd-year tight end out of UCLA. A 23-yard gain. I take that back. It's a 19-yard gain. My math was off. Either way, it's a 1st down for Detroit. Lions now in Bears territory. 1:44 and counting here in the 3rd. 1st and 10 Detroit. They come out in the offset I. Dickerson to the up back, Harris. He gains a yard. Leroy Harris, the 7th-year fullback out of Oregon. Henry Waiter on the tackle. It'll bring up 2nd and 9. A 1:15 and counting. Dickerson in the shotgun on second down. Hands off to Freeman up the middle. And Charles Freeman down to the 39-yard line. A gain of 6 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 3, excuse me. Cam Norris on the tackle, the 4th-year defensive back out of Buffalo. 45 seconds left here in the third quarter. 3rd and 3 for Detroit from the Chicago 39. Dickerson back. Throws to the near side to Farr. Down to the 32. A gain of 7. Another Lions first down. Detroit just keeps on moving on. Another long time-consuming drive by Detroit. "20 seconds. Third quarter winding down. In the shotgun, Dickerson takes the snap, hands off to Freeman, and Freeman goes nowhere. It's going to be a loss of yardage, 3 yards. And that's the end of the third quarter. Lions up 17-3 here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan. Week 12, Thanksgiving. It's our Thanksgiving game. The first of our Thanksgiving doubleheader today. Colts and the Cowboys up after this. Lions lead the Bears 17-3. It'll be 2nd and 13 for Detroit at the Chicago 34-yard line as we start the fourth quarter. Detroit trying to put this one away. Dickerson under center. Pump fakes, hands off to Brown. And Nathan Brown, no gain. Parker Littleton, the linebacker right there, will be 3rd and 13. We're in the fourth quarter. Turkey Day doubleheader here in Week 12. Dickerson in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff. Throws downfield. Incomplete. He was looking for Mike Farr, and that'll bring up 4th down. Detroit, do they want to try a 51-yard field goal? I think that's out of Decker's range. I would punt if I was Detroit, but they're not going to punt. They're going to go for it. John Decker from 51 yards. The snap kick is up, and that's nowhere close. Short and off to the right. So now the Bears are going to get pretty good field position at their own 41-yard line. Chicago down by 2 touchdowns, 17-3, with 7.5 minutes left to play here in the fourth quarter. They have time, but they'd have to score relatively quickly here. They can't take too much time. But the Lions' missed field goal is giving Chicago pretty good field position at their own 41. The Bears come in at 7-4. The Lions 1 game back at 6-5. The Bears tied with Tampa Bay for first. Detroit in second place in the NFC Central. So this is a huge game right here. 1st and 10 from the 41. Plunkett draws back. Throws down the middle. Caught by Wallstra. And Troy Wallstra down to the 45-yard line. And that'll be a gain of 14 yards and a Chicago first down. Into Lions territory. The Colts and the Cowboys up next. We'll be down in Dallas. This is the early afternoon Thanksgiving game. And then we have the late afternoon Thanksgiving game after that. The Colts and the Cowboys. 1st and 10 from the 45. 4 receivers set wide. Plunkett in the gun. McNeil in motion. Plunkett back. Plunkett in trouble. And he gets sacked back at the 48-yard line. A loss of 3 yards. Making the sack, John Parson, the 8th-year defensive tackle out of Auburn. And that will bring up 2nd and 13. Chicago, who played really well against New England last week, they're not playing well today. It'll be 2nd and 13 from the 48-yard line. Plunkett under center. Plunkett hands off to McNeil, gets around the outside, and McNeil makes his way down to the 46. A gain of 2 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 11. Evil Dead's in the house. Welcome in, ED. Misty says, who's that? 3rd and 11 for the Bears, down by 14. 6 minutes left to play here in regulation. Plunkett in the gun. Back to throw. Throws down the middle, caught by Weavers. Down to the 32-yard line. A gain of 14 yards to Chris Weavers, the 2nd-year receiver out of Florida. First down, Bears. Evil Dead says, who's that? So the Bears on the move. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the Chicago 32-yard line. 4 receivers set wide, Plunkett in the gun. Chicago trying to get back in this game. Plunkett back, sets up a screen pass, knocked down, incomplete. Jerry Ball knocked it down, the 9th-year defensive tackle out of Nebraska. And that will bring up 2nd and 10. That'll stop the clock with 5:24 left here in the 4th quarter. Indianapolis and Dallas up next. It's Thanksgiving, week 12, our Thanksgiving game. Chicago and Detroit. 2nd and 10 from the 32-yard line. Plunkett looking. Throws downfield to Dominique. Down to the 22-yard line. That's going to be just shy of the first down. Be a gain of 9 to Alex Dominique, the 6th-year receiver out of Bethune-Cookman. It'll be 30 inches for the Bears at the 22-yard line. Coming up on 5 minutes left. Three receivers to the near side. Plunkett in the gun. On 3rd down, high snap. Hands off to McNeil, and he doesn't get there. The Lions are right there. Cody Neal, the linebacker, in his 7th year out of Oklahoma State, on the tackle. It'll be 4th down. The Bears have to go for it. They're down by 14. As I said before, if Detroit wins and the Jets beat the Buccaneers later this week, then there'll be a 3-way tie for first in the NFC Central. On 4th and inches. Bears going for it. Plunkett takes the snap, throws inside to Seacrest. Down to the 11-yard line. An 11-yard gain for Robert Seacrest. First down, Bears. This drive taking a lot of time, though. 4:13 and counting. But Seacrest gives Chicago a big first down. .410 and counting. Bears come out in the I formation. Weaver's in motion. Plunkett hands off to McNeil up the middle, and McNeil driving forward down to the 3-yard line. Leon McNeil. A gain of 7. I'll bring up 2nd and 3. Again, this drive taking up a lot of time. 3:35 remaining. Clock is running. Bears trying to make it a one-possession game. Plunkett in the shotgun on 2nd and 3. Plunkett drops back. Steps up, throws, incomplete. Broken up by Kerry Starnes, the former Giant. The 6th-year safety out of LSU. Played 5 years with the Giants. Now in his first year with Detroit. Breaks up that pass. And that will bring up 3rd and 3 for the Bears. They can get a first down at about the half-yard line. Plunkett under center. Plunkett looking. Throws back to the end zone. Andrews. Touchdown, Chicago. In the back of the end zone. Andrews comes down with it, number 85. Dwayne Andrews, the 2nd-year receiver out of South Florida. A one-handed catch in the back of the end zone. He definitely got his feet in. That'll be a good touchdown. So the Bears can make it a 7-point game. Zach Jones for the extra point. It's up, and it's good. Lions lead is now 17-10 with 3:16 left. So the Bears make it a one-possession game. And now the Chicago defense has to get a stop. The opening game of Week 12, our Thanksgiving early afternoon game. The Bears and the Lions. The Thanksgiving late afternoon game coming up next, Indianapolis and Dallas. We also have a Thanksgiving night game. It'll be the Giants and the Saints. We may get to that tonight. We might save it for tomorrow. Depends on how early the Colts and Cowboys gets over. Kicking off will be Zach Wetzel. Fielded by Nixon 2 yards deep over the 15, 20, 25 maybe. Devin Nixon out to the 24-yard line. First down, Detroit. Well, for the Lions, you want to eat up some time, get another score. You're up by 7. You don't want to give the Bears a lot of time and another opportunity. Jimmy Jam with Evil Dead, Sports Davis. Snowman was in here earlier. 1st and 10 from the 24. In the offset eye. Dickerson throws inside to Farr. And Mike Farr out to the 37-yard line. A gain of 13 yards and a Detroit first down. The 12th-year receiver out of Georgia Tech. That'd be something if Detroit wins and the Jets beat Tampa Bay later this week. If that were to happen, all 3 of those teams would be 7-5. There'd be a 3-way tie for first in the NFC Central. 4 receivers set wide, Plunkett in the gun. Plunkett back, or Dickerson, throws outside to Farr, incomplete. Broken up by David Harrelson. It'll be 2nd and 10. 2:24 left to play. And now on 2nd and 10, the Lions come out. Dickerson under center. Dickerson 3-step drop, throws, gets it to Adams. And Kyle Adams out to the 44. Be a gain of 7 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 3. Parker Littleton on the tackle. Yep, the Jets are 8-3. The Jets and Miami are tied at 8-3 atop the AFC East. Miami has the tiebreaker at the moment as we've reached the 2-minute warning. Lions up 17-10 here at Javin Sports. Welcome back to Ford Field. Detroit, Michigan. Week 12, Thanksgiving Day game. Over in the AFC, there are 4 teams that are 8-3. The Chargers, Bengals, Jets, and Dolphins are all 8-3. It's amazing. 3rd and 3 from the 44-yard line. Dickerson to Freeman, and Freeman plows forward, has the first down. The Bears have to take a timeout. They have 2 left. And that is a big first down for Detroit. 1 more first down, the game's over. Over in the AFC right now, if the playoffs started today, the Chargers would be the 1 seed, Miami would be the 2 seed, the Bengals the 3 seed, and the Jets would be the 4 seed. Pittsburgh would be the 5 seed at 7-4, and then there are 6 teams that are currently 5-6, all vying for that last spot. The AFC is going to go down to the wire. It's going to be an interesting stretch run. In the offset eye, Dickerson under center. Dickerson to Freeman around the outside, and Freeman down to the Chicago 48-yard line. The Bears take a timeout. A gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. The Bears have 1 timeout left. They can still get the ball back with a 3 and out. They cannot give up another first down. That'll end the game. 1:51 left. Looking ahead to next week for both these teams, Detroit will host New Orleans. Well, that'll be a good game. And for Chicago next week, the Bears play at the Ravens. On 2nd and 7, Dickerson under center. Dickerson to Freeman up the middle, and Freeman gets nowhere, no gain. Chicago takes their final timeout. A gain of 1. Now they say a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and 6. 1:47 left. Chicago out of timeouts. They have to get a stop here and force a punt. If the Lions get a first down here, that will end the game. Chicago and Tampa Bay currently tied at 7-4 for first place in the NFC Central. Detroit 1 game back at 6-5. On 3rd and 6, Lions come out in the I formation. Dickerson to Freeman around the outside, and Freeman, nothing, no gain. The Bears are right there, led by Henry Racher and number 29, Cameron Norris. Officially a loss of a yard. It'll be 4th and 7. Detroit will have to punt. Detroit will let the clock run down as far as they can, and then Dylan Hardiman will punt. The Bears are going to have 1 more shot down by a touchdown with no timeouts. Hardiman back to punt. Trying to pin them deep, out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Not a good punt. That was a 26-yard punt. So the Bears will start at their own 22. Jason Plunkett comes out. 1:06 left. They have no timeouts, and they need a touchdown to force overtime. So the Bears come out. We're live from Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan, Week 12. Our Thanksgiving game here at Jammin' Sports. Plunkett back. Plunkett steps up. He's going to take off. He's got a first down, a big gain, all the way down to the 40-yard line. A gain of 18. They're in the hurry up. They have no timeouts. 50 seconds. Clock is running. They need a touchdown. Plunkett will spike it with 45 seconds left. The Bears are 60 yards away with 45 seconds and no timeouts. You've got to get the ball downfield. It'll be 2nd and 10. Four receivers set wide. Plunkett in the gun. Plunkett back. Throws underneath the Wallstrom. Out to the 47. Just a 7-yard gain. 3rd and 3. They got to hurry up. Got to get the receivers back. Plunkett in the shotgun. 32 seconds. Plunkett looking. Plunkett steps up. And he gets sacked. Actually for no gain. Actually gained a yard. It'll be 4th and 2. They got to get the players back. 19 seconds. On 4th down, 15 seconds. They fake the handoff. Plunkett rolls out, throws deep. He's got a man, Dominique. He gets out of bounds. No, they keep the clock rolling. They're going to run out of time. Detroit's going to hang on and win this game. Your final score, Detroit 17, Chicago 10. The Lions go to 7-5, and the Bears drop to 7-5. Thanks for watching here at Jammin' Sports. Thanksgiving continues with the Colts and the Cowboys up next. We'll see you then.